Now, when was the dates that you first left the States to get over to overseas?
That would have been November of '44. We left Georgia and we flew up to Greenland. And to land in Greenland, the base was into the other end of a fjord. And you had to fly in this fjord at low altitude, so you had granite. It looked like granite anyway on both sides of you. And to land, you had one chance of landing because the glacier was ahead of you at landing. And we were there for 2 weeks because of weather. You couldn't get out. So we had to go out and start the plane every day and, you know, keep it warmed up and so on. But I saw the biggest poker games that I've ever seen at that place because there was no town to go to or anything. It was just a base, nothing there other than airplanes and ground crew. So we left there and went to Iceland, landed in Iceland, and then went into Wales. And from there, we were dispersed to our bomb group, which was the 457th Bomb Group and the 748th Squadron. And we were at Glatton Field near Peterborough, England. By the way, we had hut number 13.
Norm, tell us about a normal day.
About 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4:30, maybe 3:30, maybe 5. The first sergeant would come into our hut and would say, "Okay, you guys, you're flying today." So we'd have to get up, get dressed, take a bite to breakfast, and then go to operations, and there they would tell you where you were going and what plane would be flying. And from there you went to your plane, you had the whole crew, and they'd start the engines, and you had to get in line at a certain point. So you'd get in line and you'd take off for the mission. And sometimes the missions lasted 8 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours, depending where you went to Germany. The colonel that gave us a briefing, and our pilot was there, the whole crew was there. All of the crews were in his hall, and they had the map and all showing you where you were going. So to give you the time for takeoff, they gave you the time for assembly, and the time to leave for the mission.
When would be the next time that you'd be heading out?
You could fly the next day, or you might, depending on weather, you might be 2 or 3 days before you flew again. Or you might be a week, we never knew.
Tell us about flag, just how close did it come, or how did that feel?
One of the missions we came back, we had lost an engine, so we came back on 3 engines. And when an engine got hit, you would take and you would feather the prop so it wouldn't windmill. We came back with 3 engines, and I had asked the crew chief, ground crew chief, what happened to the engine. And he said a piece of flak went into it. In fact, he gave me the piece, and it's about 1/2 inch long and about 1/4 inch square. And that was enough to take out that engine. And many a time, one time we came back from a mission, and we had like 104 holes in it. Now that's hard to believe, but they were all little holes, and they would just patch them up. So a lot of times your plane had a whole bunch of little patches.
But when that plane that was, that motor that was out of commission, how long would that be out of commission before it would be back in online again? Or?
Depending on how bad it was, of course they had replacement engines, and they would replace those at night.
Now most of your flights or assignments and missions were over Germany?
Yes, I was aware, yes.
Okay, and do you remember any town in particular, or was it, like, did you, Munich, did you?
Yes, we went to Munich. In fact, that was quite a mission. Approaching Munich, we could see the Alps, and the Alps were all snow-covered. It was just a beautiful sight.
Was there any time where the Germans were bombing England at the time? Or were you in that area where they were actually sending bombs over, or how did that work out?
We could hear those missiles go over. They would whistle. And as long as they kept whistling, you didn't worry about it. As soon as they stopped whistling, that's when they would come down. And we went to Berlin February 3rd of '45. Was the biggest mission to Berlin. There were 1,000 bombers, B-17s and B-24s. And we were 7th in line. In fact, we flew lead ship for our group. We destroyed Berlin.
Now, how soon after that did the Germans decide that they had enough? And were you there when they said enough is enough?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was in May. That was May, I believe May 8th is when they gave up. We took one mission after they surrendered, and we had a bunch of nurses and ground crew on a plane just to show them our bombing.
Okay.
And we flew at about 5,000 feet. And you could see the destructions. You could see towns with just walls standing up here and there, you know.
So, well, that was
But you got to remember, there were a lot of bomb groups for the 8th Air Force. And of course, the English were bombing them at night too. So, a lot of destruction.
How long after that did you finally get reassigned back to the States?
We left we were the first crew from our group to leave May 20th of '45. And we landed in Iceland and then came all the way back to Connecticut.
How close did you come to re-enlisting?
I said, no way, you know, I had enough. I got discharged in November of '45.
You